Sorry, there's going to be a lot of editing on this because my phone's giving me problems again. But she was kind of curious about the difference between the Little Dollops and the Amigurumi Kartopu. I can't even say Kartopu yarn. And the Little Dollops are definitely thicker, I think. They look thicker in the ball, but I'm going to pull some out because I have not used the Little Dollops yet. I kind of stuffed them in my one of my drawers to use later. No, I'm not getting an end. I take it back. It is pretty thin. What is it that they say? They say this is a 4. Are you crazy? This is not a 4. I don't know why. Like I said, everybody just picks a size and thinks it's what they're going to use. It makes no sense to me. And the Kartopu, now you know what? We're just going to take off the freaking label. Here we go. I think they have some of this at Mary Maxim too, but Mary Maxim put their own labels on it because it looks exactly the same. They're saying this is a size. They're not. Am I missing it? Sometimes I miss it. But I will hold them side by side, and they're actually the same. So I was wrong. The Little Dollops is the same thickness as the Kartopu. The Little Dollops is, this one's Bella Berry, and I don't remember the content. Is it 100% cotton? No, 55% acrylic, 45% cotton on these guys at 92 yards. And the Kartopu is 51% acrylic, 49% cotton, so it's almost the same. Almost the same. Pretty darn close in the ratios. So yeah, this would make probably good amigurumi as well. If you wanted to do it on a smaller scale, make real amigurumis. And the feel, very, very similar. The Little Dollops is a little more drapey and a little softer. Whereas, you know, they're both fairly soft, but this one feels a little tougher. I don't know how to put the wording on that, but so yeah, they are almost identical, right? I was like, oh, there's a huge gauge difference. This is probably a worsted. I'm like, nope. This is very close to a fingering. Parts of it get a little bit thicker, like the parts that weren't super compressed in the middle of the ball. So if I take a more relaxed piece, you can see it's a little thicker on the Little Dollops, which is the purple, but as soon as you start working with it, it's going to compress. So it's pretty much the same, almost the same gauge as the Kartopu. I'd say the Kartopu is thinner though, overall. And as for yardage, 92 yards in the Little Dollops, and I know I just said this, I don't remember. 142 yards in the Kartopu. So it is a little thinner in this, and you do get quite a bit more yardage. But I guess it depends on how tight you work up the Little Dollop. Because like I said, the more I pull out, the more it kind of gets a little bigger in gauge. It's kind of uneven, actually. The Little Dollop is uneven. So, yeah, I mean, they're really, really similar. You get more yardage, and I think it was about the same price, wasn't it? It was like $1 something for the Kartopu, and it's $1.99 for the Little Dollops. But the Little Dollops have the variegated color changes, and the Kartopu comes in just solids. So I guess it depends on what you kind of want to make with it, and you could probably mix them, maybe without a gauge issue, but like I said, the Kartopu is thinner. Wish I could show you better than the Little Dollops. And the Little Dollops kind of goes thicker and thinner. It is probably, I definitely wouldn't say it was a 4, like they say. A 4 is a worsted, yo, and this is This is not a worsted. This is not a worsted. I would definitely say this was a 3. And this is like a 3-2 maybe. So, yeah, they're really similar. I don't know, I think I was thinking worsted because I was thinking these were like, you could use for like washcloths and stuff. And they say it's a worsted, but I don't buy it's a worsted. You guys, you can decide. But they want you to use a size 7 needle for knitting and an H for crochet, and that would be pretty loosey-goosey on this. Let's see if I can grab a hook. Oh, I might have an H in here that I can just, is this an H? Okay, we got an H. Oh, I can't get the end out, but what do they say to use for the Kartopu? 2-5-3-5 and a 3-5-4-5 for the knitting needles. Is that a point? Looks like a comma to me. But are they saying 2.5 to 3.5? Because an H is a 5 even. So they're saying to use pretty big ones too, if they're going by millimeter. But hold on, let me see. Read a little bit on both with an H. And the Little Dollops tends to plump up a little bit as you're working on it. So once you get it, if you center pull it, it's really tight. But as you can see, it gets a little thicker. Get some white under here. It gets a little thicker as you're working with it, but still an H is, you know, too big if you don't want a loose gauge. And remember, I'm a pretty tight crocheter overall. And then the Kartopu, so you can kind of see the difference on an H, the size of the braids. So as the Little Dollops kind of relax or come out of the ball, they do plump up a little. It still isn't a 4, but you can see they're really similar. You might be able to use them both in one project without a problem, with too much of a gauge shift. But yeah, it's interesting. The Little Dollops is a little more fluffy feeling. So yeah, that's the comparison between the Kartopu and the Little Dollops. They are really, really similar. And sorry, my cat got up here and tangled everything, but yeah, the more that I'm kind of touching them, the more similar they feel. It's just the Little Dollops is a little softer and definitely more thick and thin. You know, barely, but a little more thick and thin than the Kartopu. I wonder if that's because of the cotton difference. Because the Kartopu does have more cotton, so it is more more cottony, more even. So yeah, I haven't made anything out of either one, so I can't give you the review on how the Kartopu actually performs in a amigurumi. I have some amigurumi I'm going to do. I have like a little frog pattern and some other things that I think I'm going to try out with it when I get a chance, and then I'll let you guys know what I think overall. And then as for the Little Dollop, I think I've only, geez, I don't even know if I've even attempted to try to make anything out of the other ball I had and forgot, or what, because you'd think I'd remember it was thinner. But again, I'm not sure what to make out of it, especially now that it's closer to a fingering for the Little Dollop. I mean, do you guys make washcloths out of fingering? Because I don't. I always use a worsted and I crochet them because they're tougher and they don't stretch out as much as they do if you knit them. So I guess I could crochet a washcloth out of it. Or maybe just make a little amigurumi and he'll come out variegated if I find a pattern that will use the yardage. So, okay, I'm going to quit yapping. I just wanted to give a quick review on the differences, really, and overall how they feel. And, yeah, I like them both. I really do. I don't prefer one over the other. So, alright you guys.